Hi, thanks for participating in our Nativity at-home wreath making event and for coming to watch this video. You will soon discover that I am not a how-to video professional and I do not do this at home. But I wanted to shoot a short video to help inspire you, give you some confidence and the creative license that you need to make an Advent wreath on your own at home. The first things you'll want to consider are space and supplies. Space is important because making an Advent wreath can be pretty messy no matter what you use. And you want to make sure that you've given yourself enough space so that everybody in your family can get involved. Okay, you're going to get some supplies in your Advent kit. You'll get some candles, purple and pink, for the different weeks of Advent. And you're going to get a wire wreath, a lot like this. Before I get too far, I want to remember to show you something about these candles. Most of the wire forms have an adjustable space for your candles, and if you wait until your wreath is complete and then try to jam them in there, you might find that your candles seem a little wobbly. So I like to start before I make my wreath and make sure that the cups are adjusted appropriately for the candle. If yours doesn't feel adjustable or you're having a hard time adjusting it, you can also warm the bottom of the candle just a little bit with a match or a lighter and seat it in there completely when you're done so that it feels secure and you feel safe and comfortable using it. Some supplies that won't be in your kit but you might want to pull together at home are some things to cut and clip. So here I have some different clippers that I use to cut greenery. And you'll probably want some scissors just for your regular craft items, and then probably some wire cutters if you're going to use the wire connectors. Some of the connectors you will receive in your kit are some small lengths of wire that you can clip into various sizes to tie materials to your wreath form. You may also want hot glue. Some embellishments that you might pick might perform better if you attach them with hot glue, or some fishing wire has worked really well for me in the past. You may even find, if you use this sort of bag, that twist ties are really easy to use for this. If you are lucky enough to find green, even better, but if you're concerned at all about using wire cutters or don't know if you have any and are a little nervous about this firm wire, you can also do a lot to attach with just these little twist ties and hide them pretty well in your greenery, so that might be a good method for you. Other things you may want to pull together or have prepared are some little embellishments. I got some 99-cent examples here of little cut sprigs and things. You can even separate and pull apart if you want to add some pine cones or some fake berries to your project. You can pull together some various ribbon, and you might find a lot of things out in nature that look really good. Cute rocks, you can find natural pine cones and berries and the different plants that you have in your yard. You're also going to want to pull together some materials or greens for building the base of your wreath. I grabbed a few examples of things that work really well, but I encourage you to get out in your yard and look around and see what might look pretty. Something you will want to keep in mind is that you want a plant material that isn't going to dry out too quickly. I've had the best intentions and tried rosemary and some other things that dried out really fast, and then you're constantly replenishing and replacing. So some of these are really good examples, and one of my favorites is a pepper tree. As you can see, they're very full with green, especially when stacked. This time of year they have often really adorable little white flowers and these pink peppercorns that look really nice for the season. Another one I've seen make some beautiful wreaths throughout the years are the wreaths made out of olive branches. Of course, more traditional, this is from a prostrate juniper bush and creates a really full and beautiful wreath. Anything you have in your yard to create interest, whether you use the materials themselves or you pop off little pieces and add it to a wreath made of different material. All right, now that you have all your materials together, you're ready to assemble your wreath. Here I'm going to show you how to make a wreath from a pepper plant. And while you can pull some of the branches and stack them right up front to make it look more full, you want to include at least a little bit of the main stem material because it's going to retain a lot of the moisture and help keep your wreath looking good all year. When you pull together a few pieces, kind of vary them or stagger them so that not all the branches start in the exact same place. And then take your piece of wire and clip something about the size of a twist tie you'd see at the store or use on a bag. And just wrap it right around your stems onto the wire form. You're going to want to do that on the outside, and if you have a thinner material like this pepper tree, you might also do a course around the inside. But once you've got that, it really is easy to keep going. Just find another point a little way behind that, and clip and wrap. And once you have more material on there, you'll be able to see for yourself if there's a spot that's sticking out that needs a little bit more tether. Here back in this part, and you can piece it together and tether it if you like. And as you see, eventually, you've got yourself a very full and beautiful wreath. At that point, you can take some extra peppercorns or some extra little white flowers here from your branches and just add them in wherever it seems like you need a little bit more space or a little more adornment. You can use ribbons and just keep going around the circle. All right, now you can see what kind of beautiful creations you can make at home with greenery from your own yard. I'm hoping you'll share your pictures with us here at Nativity so that we can see what all of our parishioners have created and feel that community event coming together. Now, I wouldn't want to stop the video here without giving you some more suggestions. If you don't have access to greens or you just want to try something new, there are some other things you can use to make a wreath. I've pulled together a couple of other materials that might help you make a fun wreath. You might see something that you like here that you want to try this year, or you may find something else at your house. Some examples of things I've pulled together are some ornaments. You could string those together along your wreath to make it look green and full. Something to keep in mind if you're using these is that you probably want to hot glue or super glue the lids onto these little ornaments, or they tend to pop off when you tie them too close together. But that would look beautiful arranged around your wreath as well, or just sitting on top of it. Here we have some little yarn puff balls that could be tied onto your wreath. You can make those by wrapping yarn around your hand and cutting after you've tied the center together, and just tie those all around your wreath. Kids could really get involved with that and have a lot of fun. You can do it all in various colors of green or various colors of the rainbow. Another idea that wouldn't be too difficult would be to take various colored Christmas bows and arrange them all around your wreath to look like an Advent wreath gift. And maybe you have a bunch of those at home. Here's an example of a ribbon wreath we've made by using short lengths of ribbon cut in various colors and just tied around the wire of the wreath. You don't need any connecting materials in that case, and you can use as many colors as you like. I've also seen some really fun wreath ideas using burlap and wrapping it through each of the tines of the wreath. Be creative, do something that sounds fun to you. And like I said, we'd love to see what your family comes up with. Thanks again for joining me for the Nativity Advent Wreath event. I hope you've come up with some ideas and inspiration to help create your Advent wreath at home. Please feel free to reach out to me with comments or questions at nativityslow.org. And I really would love to see some pictures of what you and your family created.